Hey guys, welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Today I'm going to be talking about Season 1, Episode 13, T.R.A.C.K.S. Alright guys, so if you haven't seen this series before, I'm just going to give you guys my general thoughts about this episode and then talk about some foreshadowing I noticed and different Easter eggs and stuff like that. Just my general thoughts overall. So let's just dive right in. I usually like to start off giving you guys the quick IMDb plot summary just so you have an idea of what happened. But this week's IMDb plot summary, yet again, sucks. All it says is the team tries to confiscate an important device on a train, but when one team agent takes a very risky move that backfires, the entire team is affected. That literally could apply to any episode of anything ever, really, that involves a train. So that's a little vague, but what really happened in this episode, guys, is that the team was trying to track down Ian Quinn. Ian Quinn has come up a few times throughout the season so far. He's just one of your, rich billionaire, guys who just likes to do evil shit, mainly weapons-related stuff, robotics in this episode in particular. But anyways, he's got a package on a train. The team's just trying to get a tracker on it. So they set up a whole thing to get onto the train and try and get a tracker, but shit goes sideways as stuff does, and they end up having to roll with it and try and figure out to get their bearings after shit goes sideways. And eventually they're able to track down Ian Quinn and capture him at the end, but Sky gets shot. I forgot Sky got shot, but Sky got shot. So a bunch happened, guys, in this episode, so I'm just gonna try and cover it all the stuff that I noticed that kind of ties to or is tied into this episode, foreshadows to the future, or stuff that has come up from the past that connects to this episode. Let's just dive right in. So obviously we had Ian Quinn coming back. I really like that he's a recurring villain in this first season, and I like that we kind of finally get to him actually being captured. There's a connection with him and the clairvoyant we noticed at the end of one of the last episodes. I can't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before that. We found out that they had a connection, and in this episode we find out a little bit more that there's still more of a connection. We see that Mike Peterson's actually in, I don't want to say in Ian Quinn's possession, but he's kind of in his service for kind of a moment, just to get the leg, and then he leaves really. He doesn't really do much for Ian Quinn, except for take the leg from him, so I don't really know how that worked. Anyway, some stuff that happens. Alright, so what do I have written down, guys? We see near the beginning. Wow, sorry guys. First off, I want to talk about that this episode did a really unique, not super unique, shows have done this before, but for this show it did a unique kind of episode structure, which was these kind of seeing what happened, the action on the train from each of the different characters' perspectives, which I really liked about this episode. I like whenever you get that in any really TV show. So I particularly liked how they did it with S.H.I.E.L.D. I like that they used these night grenade things that but at first they don't realize that's what happened. You kind of put the pieces together as you get to see each of the different team members' perspective throughout this ordeal. I like that we got to see a little bit of May kicking some ass. We get a little bit of that we get to see where she gets the name the Cavalry from a little bit. You start to get hints at that. So I like that you get that little action scene of her trying to kick some ass. I like that we got Ward and Coulson finally having a little trouble dealing with the hollow table. I thought that was really kind of funny to try and deal with it. I thought that was really kind of interesting that they're kind of like, yeah, no, these guys can't work these kind of tech things whatsoever. That's not their territory. Just send it to HQ. That made me laugh. And I also kind of like that they finally bring up Ward and Coulson having to talk about May and Ward's relationship, the fact that they're banging. Sorry for the crude language, people, but anywho, yeah, so I enjoyed that we kind of got that. We get a little bit more we'll get a little more depth into it. The fact we see what Coulson kind of thinks of it. He's like, well, you guys are all breaking the rules, and it's already kind of done, and it's happening. You see Ward kind of trying to backpedal, being like, well, we didn't do it technically on your bus. And he's like, is that really what the hill you want to die on, Ward? Is that the hill you want to do that? So I thought that was interesting. I thought it was kind of also interesting that we see through this episode after Sky gets shot. Sorry, I'm all over the place on this episode, guys. I just finished watching it, so different things are fresh in my mind. But I like that we see after Sky got shot that the different characters they reacted, especially like Ward and May. You see that they kind of gravitate to each other. They both kind of were trying to say that it's only a physical thing, and but you kind of see a little bit more, and I think that's pretty interesting because at this point we still don't know that Ward eventually turns. So if you're taking this into from a fresh perspective, it almost seems like they're maybe starting to form a little bit more of a bond there. But in hindsight, knowing that Ward eventually betrays him and that he's kind of doing that on purpose, you kind of get a little bit of you see it cynically a little bit when you rewatch it and you think of it in that light. You're just like, Ward's he's just playing here right now. Does he care that Skye got shot and he's actually upset? It's really hard to say. So I really like that interesting thought that happened when you rewatch it and you see their dynamic after Skye gets shot and how they're kind of almost comforting each other, trying to say, no, you can't blame yourself. It's a thing. So I thought that was kind of interesting. What else do I have written down? Oh, we see when on the train, we're getting the Skye and Fitz perspective. Skye keeps bringing up 804s, so not 804s. I keep saying 804s. It's 084. 084. She brings that up a couple times, objects of unknown origins, and Fitz ends up saying the one thing they all have in common is that they're dangerous, and you see that Skye's kind of just like, oh, why you gotta say that about me? And she's just like, have you ever heard of a human being it? And he's like, yeah, but I'd feel bad for that dude. And so you see that he obviously has zero clue at all about Skye's past, but we also see that Skye's still kind of trying to dig into what it means to have an unknown origin and what it means for her future of who she's going to be. What's going to happen? So I like that little dynamic that we got there. What else do I have written down? I like that we see Skye and Fitz go a little special ops, they get separated from the team because they're one of the people who don't get, thanks to Simmons being super brave and taking the whole night grenade to herself and the one bad guy, so it was that Skye and Fitz didn't get hit, so they're still conscious, and they end up having going in and tracking down or keeping track of Ian Quinn and his package to track Ian Quinn down back to his place. So I like that we get to see them starting to be a little more braver and braver, especially Fitz. I like that Fitz didn't even hesitate in this episode, so I really like that we're developing their characters even more. I didn't realize how quickly their characters kind of grow into the badass secret agents we get in the later seasons, but it's already starting to develop. So I really like that little bit we get in it, even though Skye ends up getting herself shot, which I totally forgot happened. I can't believe I forgot Skye got shot. I've already said it, but when she got shot, I was like, damn, yep, that does happen. How did you forget, Scott? That's how we connect into learning more about Coulson's, Scott. Such a rookie. Glad you guys didn't kind of blow that for me too, or maybe you guys didn't. I forgot it, but yeah, I really like that happened. No, I'm not glad that she got shot, but I'm glad that I like that was a surprise for me that I'd forgotten it. That this show has so much happened throughout the whole 5 seasons that we have now that I can kind of forget about this one episode where she gets shot, and I'm pretty sure she pretty much gets brought back in the next episode. It's called Tahiti. I'm pretty sure this is where we learn a little bit more about it. If you guys don't tell me what happens in the next episode, I'm watching it in the next couple of days. My video might be out earlier just because I want to check it out. I want to re-watch that and refresh my memory on it. So no spoilers for the next episode, so don't give me any of those things this time, guys, okay? What else did I written down? I already talked about Mike Peterson coming back. It was nice to see that he actually has the leg. We learn a little bit more about what his motivations are besides just having the explosive eye in his face. He also, I feel like there's a little bit of his son being held hostage in this too, and I think we learn a little bit more of that in this episode and as we go further. And we also get a little flash of the barcode on his leg saying Project Deathlock. So he's officially named Deathlock now in the series. I'll probably still call him Mike Peterson, but I might refer to him as Deathlock sometimes. Just depends on what I go with. What else did I have written down? She got shot and Mike Peterson. That's all I had written down, guys. But yeah, quite a little bit happened in this episode. I feel like even more is going to be happening in the next episode. A lot, I believe, happens during the Tahiti episode, which is why I'm excited to get to that next one and get to watching it. But yeah, that's all I had for this one. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I like the structure that they did with the, I don't want to necessarily call it a flashback, but I guess it was like multiple flashbacks, seeing the whole story from each of their different perspectives and how they had to deal with the train and the different things like that. And I just really enjoyed it overall. But guys, let me know in the comments below what you guys particularly liked in this episode. Anything I missed, unless it's relating to the next episode. Again, like I said, I want to keep that for me to enjoy the next couple days. But be sure to let me know if I did miss any other connections in this episode to anything else in the season or in the series in general. But thanks for joining me today, guys. I hope you are enjoying this playlist and the rewatch with me. I'm enjoying checking out your different comments and stuff like that. But be sure to check out the rest of the channel and everything around. And thanks again for joining me. Have a good rest of your day.